President-elect's roadshow recommences in just a few hours. Donald Trump heading to Des Moines, Iowa, this time for another stop on his thank you tour, popping into another state that he brought back into the red column after President Obama won it twice. Since yesterday's lead, a source says the president-elect has decided upon a Secretary of Labor nominee, Andy Puzder, chief executive of CKE Restaurants, which owns Hardee's and Carl's Jr. Puzder, who along with his wife donated thousands of dollars to various efforts to elect Donald Trump, is known for opposing minimum wage increases and supporting automation. You may also know his company for its infamous TV ad campaigns, such as this one for the Bacon Three-Way Thick Burger, ads that conservative and Christian groups have long attacked for being, quote, disgusting and sleazy and demeaning to women. The president-elect has also chosen to head the Environmental Protection Agency. The Oklahoma Attorney General Scott Pruitt, a longtime critic of that agency for alleged overregulation. Pruitt once sent a letter to the EPA that had been literally drafted for him and given to him by a lobbyist for an oil and gas company, as a New York Times investigation once revealed. CNN's Sarah Murray is in Columbus, Ohio, where the president-elect is set to meet any moment now with first responders who rushed to save lives at Ohio State University after that terrorist car and knife attack. And Sarah, since yesterday's show, the president-elect responded to criticism of him by a local union president by sending out some vicious tweets about this local labor leader.
That's right, Jake. Donald Trump's aides have long said he likes to use his Twitter feed to speak directly to the people, to bypass the press. But one thing is clear, as president-elect, Donald Trump still plans to use his Twitter feed to try to silence his critics as well. Just because Donald Trump is president-elect doesn't mean he's shying away from Twitter showdowns. After touting his deal with Carrier to keep jobs in the U.S. just a week ago.
I will tell you that United Technologies and Carrier stepped it up, and now they're keeping actually the numbers over 1,100 people, which is so great,
Now he's unloading on the president of the union that represents the Indianapolis Carrier plant. Chuck Jones, the president of the United Steelworkers Local 1999, said Trump lied by overstating the number of jobs he convinced Carrier to keep in the U.S. The actual number is 800, not 1,100. Trump unleashed on Twitter, saying Chuck Jones, who is president of United Steelworkers 1999, has done a terrible job representing workers. No wonder companies flee country. Jones says even though he's been receiving threats after Trump's tweets.
I've been doing this job 30 years, and I've had a lot more serious threats than what people are making right now. I've got a little more thicker skin maybe than I did many years ago.
He doesn't regret his remarks.
He didn't tell the truth. He inflated the numbers, and I called him out on it.
The Twitter sideshow playing out as Trump continues building out his cabinet. A source tells CNN Trump has chosen fast food executive Andy Puzder to serve as labor secretary. The chief executive of CKE Restaurants is both an advocate for scaling back regulation and a critic of efforts to raise the minimum wage, even as he acknowledges states have a right to do so.
There's really nothing you could do to stop states from raising the minimum wage. They want to do that. You could use the bully pulpit to encourage them to do what's best for American workers, what's best for wages, what's best for economic growth.
Trump meeting today with Alan Mulally, the former CEO of Ford, as well as retired Admiral James Stavridis, a potential candidate for the coveted Secretary of State slot. Stavridis was once vetted as a possible running mate for Hillary Clinton.
Terrific. Had a wonderful meeting with the president-elect. We talked about the world. We talked about defense. We talked about our state of our military. We talked a lot about cyber security.
All of this as the billionaire businessman continues to revisit the battleground states that delivered him the presidency, making a somber stop in Ohio to meet with first responders and victims of the attack at Ohio State University, before heading to Iowa for a victory rally. But even as Trump turns his gaze to the White House, questions linger about how far he's willing to go in separating himself from his business. So far, there's little indication Trump will fully divest from his company. But a source tells CNN Trump may add an additional person to the leadership structure, someone outside his family, a move not only to bat back conflict of interest concerns, but also to protect his children. Now, when Donald Trump does arrive here in Ohio, it'll be an opportunity for Americans to see the formerly bombastic candidate in a different light, playing the role of comforter-in-chief, something that we've come to expect from our presidents. We are expecting Donald Trump to meet privately with these first responders as well as some of the victims of the attack here at OSU. We are not at this point expecting him to deliver any formal remarks, though. Jake.
All right, Sarah.